Hello, and welcome to the Ashes of Creation pre-alpha experience. My name is Stephen Sharif. I am the founder and creative director on one of the most anticipated MMORPGs currently in development. Ashes of Creation is a vast open world set in a non-faction-based high fantasy story and is being created by some of the most experienced MMO developers that the gaming industry has ever seen. You and countless other players will work together or against one another to discover secrets, explore breathtaking lands, and rebuild a home long forgotten. Our game is focused on allowing the players to shape the world around them. Through the use of our innovative node system, players will literally build the cities up from nothing, determining story arcs, forming guilds and societies. With every possible action, you will be writing the unique history of your server. Players will be able to build homes in the world and become a renowned master crafter, tame legendary beasts and conquer the most terrifying creatures, control the markets and move goods from region to region. Risk versus reward is a central tenet in our game, and meaningful choices by you, the player, are paramount in deciding your experiences. Development of Ashes began in 2016, and in June of 2017 we finished the most successful Kickstarter in history for an MMO. In just 7 months since we first announced the project and launched ashesofcreation.com, we have seen over 250,000 members join our community. It has truly been an amazing experience to see the outpouring of support and enthusiasm for Ashes. We want to create something that we can be proud of, something that brings people together to enjoy the challenges you will face in this epic story. Everyone at Intrepid Studios is honored to have you join us in this journey. Now, before we begin, it is important to note these two encounters are small slices of the pre-alpha state of the game. An MMORPG is the largest game that can be developed, and Ashes of Creation is a massive undertaking. Ashes of Creation will launch with 8 archetypes. These archetypes are then paired with a secondary archetype of your choice as you progress in the game. You'll be able to play as one of 4 of these 8 archetypes during our pre-alpha experience. As you level in Ashes, you will customize the selection of skills you have access to. For the purposes of our pre-alpha experience, you will be given 8 skills to use with each archetype. The first skill you will see on your hotbar in this pre-alpha experience is the weapon skill. Now, something unique about our weapon skills, I will explain quickly, is that Ashes does not have an auto attack or button mashing system. Combat is intended to be strategic. We have blended situational importance with elements of tab targeting and action combat. Additionally, we have created a unique skill input system that allows for your weapon to be its own progression path. That is unique for each type of weapon. When you activate this skill, it will attack your target and will spawn a precision window, allowing you to hit the key once more in order to accurately time the skill for a success. Doing so will grant you focus, a unique energy needed for certain skills, and will also initiate a combo attack that becomes more powerful and adds additional effects that you will be able to customize based on each weapon type as well as your class. The first of our 4 archetypes in this pre-alpha experience is our tank. The tank is a force of will on the battlefield, able to take vast amounts of damage and remain standing. He exerts his control over the area around him, helping to protect his allies and direct the battle. The tank wields a sword and shield and is able to pull targets to him. His shield is capable of stunning multiple targets that lie in front of him and knocking them to the ground. If he wants to stop a foe from moving past him, he has the ability to summon a wall that will trip and damage enemies who make contact with it. His taunt action will force an enemy to target him for a period of time and add additional hate to the target. The tank can also take 50% of incoming damage done to a friendly player with his cover skill. Finally, with enough focus accumulated, the tank will launch a devastating ability that pulls all enemies in his forward arc to him while dealing a massive amount of damage. Next in this pre-alpha experience, we have our mage. She is a master of the elements, capable of dishing out a massive amount of damage through deadly area of effect spells, all while using the art of illusion and teleportation to avoid dangerous encounters. Our mage here is wielding her spellbook as a weapon, from which she is able to send missiles of force to impact her targets. She is also capable of summoning fiery destruction with her implosion skill, hitting multiple opponents in an AoE. She can follow up her fire with fury by launching a bolt of searing light against her enemies that lie in her forward arc. When she needs to stop an enemy in their tracks, she can summon a prison of ice around a single target, rendering them paralyzed for a number of seconds while she tends to other, more important matters. If things get hairy, she can use her teleport ability to leap into another dimension momentarily, returning some distance away from her last location. Our mage uses the art of illusion to confuse her enemies by summoning multiple images of herself, granting her some seconds of invulnerability. Finally, once our mage has accumulated enough focus, she can summon the tectonic forces beneath her to knock down her enemies, while dealing a massive amount of damage. Our ranger is a man of many skills, but most important to him is being able to land fatal shots from a distance, striking terror in his enemies with his adept ability to snipe targets that land in his sights. Our ranger uses his trusty bow and arrow to send chills through the heart of any creature. Capable of powering up a shot to deal massive damage, the longer he focuses, this shot strikes all enemies in a forward line. If his prey attempts to flee, he can fire a single shot, rendering them unable to move. The ranger is also capable of aiding his allies by marking a target and reducing their defenses for a period of time. If his enemies get too close, the ranger is capable of dashing away quickly and firing off a parting shot. When given time, the ranger can summon arrows to his side that deal massive damage for a short period of time. And finally, when the ranger has accrued enough focus, he is capable of raining down a storm of arrows to damage all his enemies in a massive area. Last but not least is our cleric, the life force of any group. She is a master of life and death, able to manipulate the vital forces of energy that give meaning to life. Our cleric in this pre-alpha experience wields a powerful staff. Through her staff, she channels blessings of life to her friends and death to her foes. By uttering a single word, our cleric can grant life to any ally, while at the same time dealing damage to enemies around them. If necessary, our cleric can drop a ward that damages all enemies around her and grants that same life to her allies. If her party is under attack, she is capable of bringing all life energy into a balance. Her mastery of life is even capable of firing off an arc of vital energy to heal all allies and burst down enemies in proximity of the arc. In the direst of needs, our cleric is capable of resurrecting her fallen allies. If she has accrued enough focus, our cleric can enter a divine form, channeling the spirit of her deity. Her powers are enhanced while she grants life to these allies around her and damages those who wish to do her harm. There are two separate experiences we have built for our pre-alpha demo at PAX. The first is our open world PvE experience, where players will be led through an area in Ashes of Creation to gather supplies and to help grow one of our nodes to the village stage of development. While our players attempt to escort a caravan of goods to a nearby node for trade, they will encounter dangers along the route and perhaps discover a deep, dark presence in the mountain. Will they survive to tell the tale? The second experience is a team-based PvP arena. Each team of 4 will attempt to subdue the opposition by capturing control points and eliminating their enemies. To capture a control point, players must destroy a statue at the control point, thereby erecting their own team statue to gain points for them over time. Additionally, teams can kill their opponents to gain points. This match will last 10 minutes. These two pre-alpha experiences are only a small taste of what is to come. Everyone here at Intrepid Studios is working day and night to build a revolutionary MMORPG that will allow you and your friends to direct your own story. A game that reacts and responds, one that is always changing. Much will change from now to launch, and our community will help to iterate these changes through many alphas and betas that we have planned and that you can be a part of. On behalf of everyone from Intrepid, I would like to personally thank you for stopping by, and I'd like to invite you to become a part of our development by registering with us at ashesofcreation.com. Subscribe to our YouTube and join our Discord. We have begun limited pre-sales of our early access Alpha 1 and 2. We raffle out access to our Alpha 0 every week, which we are happy to announce will begin December 15th of 2017. I hope you have enjoyed this small taste of Ashes of Creation. We're only just getting started.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our playthrough. I am joined by Jeffrey Bard, lead game designer here at Intrepid Studios.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
And Peter Pallone, senior game designer here at Intrepid Studios.
Hello, everyone.
Peter, you're so soft. I mean,
really?
like, voice-wise.
Wow.
We also have Jennifer Bridges, our community manager, with us.
Hi, everyone.
She likes ponies.
I do like ponies.
So we're going to give you a little bit of a playthrough of one of the environments, one of the towns, and going through a dungeon. We heard there's a pretty cool quest that's available in this town. Isn't that right, Jeffrey?
Mm-hmm.
I
think he was mid-bite on that one.
I think he's eating lunch right now. Very nice. Awesome. All right. Well.
Yes, the quest is amazing.
Awesome. I hear that the tavern is the happening place for this quest. So let's go in here and see what this concerned citizen has to say. Why is he concerned? I'm concerned that he's concerned.
I mean, it's there's a lot of stuff going on up here. I would be concerned. This place is scary.
I'd be the hair loss, too.
Oh, you had to go there.
Hey.
Welcome to the mighty beard traveler. Take a load off and tell me what brings you to the cold north. Are we in the north? We are in the north.
We are, in fact, in the north. That's why it's so cold up here.
Am I an adventurer, an explorer, or am I just trying to test myself?
It's up to you, man. Who are you?
I'm an explorer.
I'm surprised to hear that, Steven.
He says, hail then. We can always use a pair of extra hands up here. In fact, let me give you a little tip, if you don't mind. You know, I don't really want your tip.
Jeez.
No, I guess I'll take information, yes. Excellent. Don't go out too much. And now, everybody, you guys see this. This is super pre-alpha. There is, no UI that we've really done any development of. That comes later. So we're just giving you a look at the state of our game at the moment. So take this all understanding that it is a pre-alpha look. All right, listen, buddy. Of course, I know what you're saying is awesome. Yes, the world is strange, and I wouldn't be surprised to hear it. A deer. Oh, some deer out there, apparently.
I don't think there are any deer. It's a very special kind of deer.
Huh. Oh, there we go. I gave him the wrong answer. He didn't give me the quest. I gave him the right answer this time.
You gotta really pay attention to what these guys are saying.
You mean I can't just fast click through it? Okay.
Sorry.
Let us depart the city.
All right, heading out.
In search of deer.
In search of the right gate.
Oh, the right gate. But yeah, that's right. He said go to the north.
Yep.
See? So I got to read that stuff. How's your tuna melt, Jeff?
Oh my god, it was delicious. Thank you, Steve.
Oh, you finished it already? Wow.
No, I'm like halfway through. After that faux pas earlier, I stopped eating. I'm going hungry.
Nice.
It's okay, you guys can hunt some deer.
Oh, venison sounds good.
Oh, looks like we've got a caravan on its way in.
Traders. I'm gonna try to steer clear of these guys. This guy obviously hired a lot of
he cares a lot
guards.
about getting this home.
Are you scared?
Well, I don't know if I can handle that many guards right now.
I heard mages were OP.
Mages are no more or less OP than other classes.
We've carefully balanced it.
Yes.
I think we're going to want to take a left up here on this area right here.
Check out the water. This water is pretty cool.
Where have you gone?
So, because the season
Steven's
is
already
winter,
off script.
Oh, no.
Mages don't listen to rangers.
What is a script? I know there's no such thing. So interesting. If you guys don't know, seasons in the game. Like right now, we're in a winter season, if you couldn't tell by the vast amounts of snow everywhere. It also changes the landscape to include obstructions and ice in place of water that, has new collision added. You can walk on it. Might be difficult to go fishing this time of year, but hey, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Literally.
Oh boy.
Nice. I like it.
This is what this has become.
Oh, I found a forest guardian. Dude, why are we killing the guardians of the forest?
It's the guy wants us to. It's up to us
Wow.
to do what he
Did we
wants.
Did we vet this guy?
I didn't vet him. You
He
just
was
took
in
the quest.
I don't have any abilities on my bar. Hold on. I gotta set this up.
It's gonna get away.
It's scared. I can see it looking at me. I'm gonna take another bite of my
It
tuna.
probably. Wow. It probably knows what we're up to. I mean, it is a guardian. I feel a little bad for this guardian.
It's survival of the fittest up here.
Oh, that felt horrible. I can't believe it. We're doing this.
You're already cooking it though, and that's good.
That's true.
Very efficient.
Jeff, I found some meat. Raw venison, gamey with a slight green tingle at the finish. You receive
green
loot.
taste like?
Nice.
It's kind of like salami.
Ah.
Okay.
Well, we gotta find some more guardians to murder. I mean, to
Hey.
harvest.
You're gonna want to turn around.
Okay.
Yeah. Walk this way.
Isn't that a song?
I think so.
Please no singing.
Why?
I don't like singing.
But we're out hunting. You have to
Are
have
there
hunting
normally
songs.
I thought that was just when you're on a boat.
Nice. Nice. That was good. Alright. Let's murder this guy too.
Jeez.
I really like
Yeah,
the
made his
spell
OP.
effects.
Very powerful.
Oof. Taking all this meat.
Nice crit there.
Thank you.
This guy's having trouble getting up this hill.
Oh. I like how docile they are. They see their brethren falling before them. And yet they remain. I don't know if Guardian was the right title for these deer.
Well, once they're finished, I think they'll be appropriately Guardian-esque.
Tell us what we can do with this meat outside of just this quest.
So this quest is actually a node-specific quest. It will enable the inn to cook and provide provisions based on this kind of meat. The more players that do this quest, the more of that particular type of meal will be given to players. Or you can just take the meat for yourself. You don't have to turn the quest in. You can just examine and play with and experiment with this meat on your own. Now, you'll notice that the lore behind this meat allows players to see a little bit in the future, and that's reflected in anything being created by this meat will actually have a bonus to the accuracy stat.
That's interesting.
Where'd you go?
Very cool. Now, what if I had the profession of cooking, and I had my freehold set up to cook and whatnot?
Then you could take your meat over there, and you could start playing with different recipes at your freehold. Don't have to do it in the node.
Ah. So we should probably turn this meat in.
So that the
'Cause I've
node can help
collected.
to advance.
Yeah, I've collected all 8.
All right, then. Let's head on back.
That was just a force level after the 8 deer.
It got easier as I was doing it more often.
That's what they say.
The first one was really hard to bear, but, by the time I was on the 8th one, I was just like, come on, can you die already? It's a little dark out here. Behold, I am the bringer of light.
There's some folks up here. Friend or foe? They look like friends. Hi, buddies. Oh wait, Steven's still lagging.
No, I'm back here. Hey, who are these people? Ah, that's a nice little area.
They don't seem amused by your parlor tricks.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not very nice of them. This would be like a little kind of pit stop here, huh?
A little camp.
We have some questions, don't we? We could probably answer one question on our way back to town.
Yeah. So we, as usual, we collected questions from the forums from players. The first one we have is from Tucker131. You said that you wanted each weapon to have a unique effect to make each of them have a purpose. Could you elaborate on this a bit?
It's a good question, Jeff.
No.
You got him back again.
Are you eating?
I thought the question would take longer to ask.
Okay.
We lured you into a false sense of security.
All right. So yeah, each weapon will have a role to play in the game. We've got a couple of different axes of attributes and sort of aspects that weapons have. Some of it is along the physical and magical aspect. Some of it is on the like piercing, slashing, blunt kind of axis. And so each one of those will play a role in actual combat. So each weapon is going to have its own flavor and its own reason for being.
And isn't it true that where are we going?
We're going over here.
You should probably follow the ranger.
Probably should. Isn't it also true that some of the weapons will have different types of conditions that can be applied based off of what type of weapon you have?
Yeah, that's actually true when it comes to things like big two-handed Warhammer. You're probably going to have, and it depends on the crafter and what level the item is and what has gone into its history, but a Warhammer is probably going to have a higher chance to knock something down than other types of weapons.
Oh my god, they're closing the doors. No, no. Oh. Oh my god. Do they know I'm not? No, I'm not your enemy. Let me in. You know what? I'm a mage, so I don't need that door.
What have you done?
There he is.
That looks OP to me.
No, listen. We have to do these types of things because these types of towns, they discriminate against mages.
Now, if you want to go and return that quest, you might want to come over here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought we were
Nice
just
and
out there collecting venison for ourselves. I forgot it was a
Well, I
quest.
mean, you can keep it if you want to, but
All right. Hello. Oh, a fellow concerned citizen. You need not be concerned anymore, concerned citizen. Ah, very good. He has now more than enough meat to cook with, and see if he can tell the future. I believe I'll take this bow. Thank you, sir, and farewell. I have received the Green Seer's bow.
nice. I hear that's
Awesome.
pretty powerful.
Yeah, you guys don't have this bow, do you?
No,
I do not.
It's probably something you might want to look into there, Ranger.
I think I've got a good enough bow right now.
Oh, okay, good. So, I should probably stop by our freehold and put this awesome loot in the freehold, right?
You've got a freehold set up already?
Yeah, it's actually like nearby, and it has a beautiful view of this town.
Well, you're gonna have to
Actually.
show me because I don't know where you live.
Oh, that's unfortunate because I don't think I know where
I think I know
live
where he lives. So I'm gonna
either. Show me, friend.
Oh, it's too bad that giant beach ball isn't here anymore.
Oh, I know. What
You
happened
can
to
kick
the
it
beach
around.
ball?
I removed it for this build.
That's
Aw.
sad.
All right, what other questions do we have, Jennifer?
Alright, the next one is from Baconstein. Could we
Any
see-
relation to Michael Bacon?
Maybe. I don't know. We
We'll
should
have to
ask them
explore
next
that
time.
further.
Yeah. Could we see an in-game open-world proximity-based voice chat on release or ever?
Proximity based? Probably not. But we are including a group and raid. Oh, welcome to my freehold. A group and raid based voice over IP that players will be able to use.
Okay, rad.
Look at this, man. I've got this like furnace thing going on over here. I got another furnace thing going on over here.
Yeah, someone's
A lot
spec for
of
crafting.
fires.
Yeah, I'm a major crafter. Oh,
I
welcome,
get it.
welcome to my home. Oh, you can come in now. Oh, I should put it in this chest. Very cool. You know what? I don't want to put it in this chest, actually. I think we might need this for later, so I'm going to keep these things.
You could
Thank
just
you,
give it
chest.
to me.
No. Oops. And I am... alrighty.
Someone's a hoarder.
Door. Open sesame.
I don't think that works.
Did
Yeah.
someone break the door?
Oh, I made it. I'm out.
Did you break the door?
Oh my god.
I can see
I
you
think
inside.
He's flying
I
inside.
made it. I made it. I made it.
He's like a trapped
Get
bug.
I need to get those locks checked out. My arcane lock isn't working as well as I thought it would.
Or it's worked too well.
So, actually, I think the reason we came down to this town was because we heard about a dungeon nearby.
Yeah, I heard it's over to the west here. If we keep going along this path and we bear to the left, I think there's a dungeon entrance.
All right. Did we hear anything about this dungeon in specific?
I heard it's water aspected. I hear that it's infested with undead, so we should be prepped for that kind of population. Hope you got your fireball spells.
Oh, I got some fireball spells. What other questions do we got?
Sure, so the next one is from Northy. You mentioned there will be multiple armor slots. Does this mean there will be separate arms, chest, and leg pieces in addition to gloves, boots, and headgear? Or are they made more along the lines of separate upper body and lower body pieces that you can mix and match?
More to the former. It's going to be chest, arms, hands, wrists, legs, feet, back. I think head. I think that's all of them.
So pretty
Belt?
traditional then.
Wait,
We
hang
have-
on, hang on.
yeah.
I'll just
We
show
have
you
a-
my equipment list. See, there it is. Yay! So you can see all the different slots that we'll have.
There's a
For
bug
now,
going
that
on
might
before you
change.
guys.
Oh my god. There's a-
Don't
there's
kill it, no!
An autumn wrath.
You missed.
I hit it.
Well,
Tell me that the road was going to be dangerous.
not long for this
But it was
world,
cute
buddy.
and fluffy.
Not anymore.
Oh wait, I can show. How do I show my character? Oh, you guys are gonna die.
Oh, let the ranger handle it.
Just open up your wing, hit the wing, and then click on equipment, and you can see all the slots.
On the wing. Got it. Oh yeah, there we go. Helmet, shoulders, chest, belt, gloves. Arms, gloves, belt, leggings, and feet.
Okay, cool.
You're all glowy now, Ranger.
Oh no, not again.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Just powering up my power shot.
All right. Next question.
Zarevan asks, will there be different starting zones for each race, or will it be the same for all races?
I'm busy protecting us, Jeff. Oh, I didn't have a question.
I'm sorry, I was too focused on the game.
GG Mage. Zarevan asks, will there be different starting zones for each race, or will it be the same for all races?
There will be different starting zones for each race. Everybody will actually start kind of with their super race, and then as you progress, pretty quickly you'll go and meet up with your sub race specifically. So there's like really technically 4 starting areas, but then those break down into 8 starting areas pretty quickly.
Okay.
And players can choose their starting gear.
Correct.
Alright, next one. Zero Tragedy asks, can you use your freehold as a ranch for marketable purposes? For example, breeding and raising livestock.
You mean breeding and raising somebody else's livestock? Without being able to ask specifically what they mean by that, I'm going to have to say probably a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. If you want...
I mean, like, raising chicken and cows, would you be able to do that and then have those chicken and cows make milk, eggs, etc., and then you'd be able to sell those items?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if that's what they mean, then yeah. I was thinking in terms of like, oh, I have a farm. Hey, if you want to put your horse here, I'll stable him for a while. I don't know if that's the direction we're going on that side of things, but definitely what you just said is true.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and we're almost to the dungeon.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
this is a big dungeon.
Looks
Jeff, I think you
foreboding.
might need to stay behind me.
I will. I'll stay behind the tank.
All right.
I'll stay behind the mage, so.
Yeah, I'll leave. Don't worry.
This isn't...
This isn't scary.
I'm confused. Well, are you mage tanking?
Sort of.
He's face tanking. He's taking advantage of us not having balanced anything yet.
I'll just see what this deep, dark place has to offer.
I think our artists have done a pretty fantastic job with this.
Wow, this place is beautiful. Oh my gosh. All right, let's just take a look at this place. Unbelievable. I love it. How could this place be so defiled with undead creatures and it's so beautiful? Oh wait, I see. We're starting to get into a little bit of tentacle stuff here. That's kind of scary.
Like I said, I think it's just water aspected. You know, whoever was here before probably was really into the sea and the ocean.
There's an unriven ranger. There's something up ahead of us. You may want to... Oh, I hear
There's
loud...
something behind you. Loud noises.
Oh, something's attacking something.
Do
Do you want to log out here? Because...
I want to log out here?
Yeah, log back in.
Am I messed up?
Yeah.
Alright, I will log back out and log back in.
We'll clear this place.
Oh, those guys are spooky.
Oh, it hurts. Let's just train the whole dungeon.
Alright.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, take that, Ranger.
Alright, where'd you guys go? I'm back in.
We're a little bit deeper.
Went in a little bit.
I'm gonna find you.
These guys are weak, though. They stand no chance against me.
Alright, to keep the questions going, Twist asks, will weapons be locked to particular classes? For example, tank have to have a shield, ranger a bow, etc. Or are weapons just slot set as if you want to be a two-handed wielding rogue, you can?
Yeah, for the most part, weapons are class agnostic. But what you'll find is that some classes naturally align with certain types of weapons better than others. Specifically, like when you're talking about a tank, if you want to tank with a shield, you're going to, and you want to use shield abilities or abilities that are based on a shield, you're going to want to have a shield with you. Similarly, like if you're a rogue and you want to be dual wielding, you're probably going to want to choose abilities that reflect that fighting style.
Okay, cool.
And that can be informed by your subclasses as well.
Alright, next up, Mycroft asks, there's been a lot of talk about open dungeons and world boss raids, but not much on the instance counterparts. What plans are there in place for instance group content, especially raids and especially for max level players?
I think we've discussed this before when it comes to instancing. Yeah, we do want a strong focus on the open world, and we want people out in the open world playing, but there is going to be instance content, and that content is going to be across pretty much all experience levels. So it's not going to be relegated to just, one or two separate low-level dungeons. Like, that's going to be... You're going to find plenty of that kind of content across all levels. Also, it's a lot harder to answer these questions while I'm playing at the same time.
I know. I can't. I can't answer while we're playing. Oh man. Now I heard there's some like boss down here that we're gonna have to murder.
Let's hope he is functioning. Last time I checked him out, he is losing his mind.
Oh, okay, that's fine. There's also some treasure down here, I think. Some, like, fabled monster coins.
Yeah, actually, there's a skeleton over here who is acting a little bit strange. Actually, if you come back here, Steve.
Dude, these yeah, I see it. These skeletons have a pretty awesome little dungeon.
Yeah, they inherited this pretty well. I wonder what the history of that is.
Probably some type of ancient water temple or whatever. Oh, okay. Hello.
This guy.
Alright, you guys keep him occupied. I'm gonna try to grab this treasure. There's a lot of stuff going on over here.
Wow, Ranger, also OP.
Oh, I got some monster coins.
Oh, did you? I want to get some monster coins.
I didn't get any.
I think we gotta talk to this guy.
I got one. I'm gonna use my monster coin. I hear there's some event going on. It says Twisted Rabbit. This is a Twisted Rabbit coin. Nice.
Yay, bunnies.
Uh-oh. Oh god, what's happening? And I'm a rabbit. Oh my gosh.
You're adorable.
Where are those guards at? Where did you guys get coins?
I just did, and I'm using it right now. Oh, I'm a rabbit too.
I don't see where you are. Where are you? Oh,
Hang
I see you.
Where are you? Oh yeah,
And
we're
I think
gonna wreck this
just
town.
To be clear here for people watching, the way they're doing this is not going to be how it will work in
Right.
the game. When you guys get a monster coin, there'll be a different system for when you can actually use it.
Right.
It'll immediately spawn.
Yeah, so there's going to be events that occur in the world, and these events will allow people who hold monster coins to participate in the event as a monster. The events are going to run regardless of if people participate as a monster or not. The AI will take over by default. But if you have a coin, you're able to participate as a monster. There's 3 different tiers of events. There's Legion level, there's an Elite level, and then there's the Epic level. Where's Peter?
I don't know.
Didn't receive it.
You didn't get a coin?
Did you talk to the guy?
I did.
Did you? Did you really?
You got some teeth.
I have 4. Yeah.
Let me go over to your desk and make sure that this can work. Just
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Those little bunnies have good dental insurance.
Heck
Oh, wait,
yeah.
I got you.
I wonder if I can attack Jeff.
Yeah, do it.
Wait, I too am turning into a rabbit. Oh, here I am.
Oh, you're also a rabbit.
Yeah, I've never been a rabbit before. This is awesome.
Come back, I'm gonna bite you.
Oh my god. Whoa, I'm fast.
And we're rabbits.
Gonna go live the rabbit life. Gonna say goodbye to the town.
No!
Yeah.
We have to find people to kill and things to take.
Why can't we just be good rabbit?
Okay,
Yeah.
we're called Autumn Wraiths.
the corruption will come and get you eventually. You can't resist it.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of very pre-alpha gameplay footage. And we will be chatting with you here in about 2 seconds. So enjoy, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.
Fantastic.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, this is Stephen Sharif, Creative Director here at Intrepid Studios. I'm excited to debut an exciting new system that we have been working on in the game, something fresh to the MMO experience. We call it our Monster Coin system. You're about to see what the system looks like in its pre-alpha state, and I'd like to explain a little bit of how it works. In Ashes of Creation, a large portion of world events revolve around the environment reacting to the player. This means that as the players are exploring the world and developing civilization around them, the environment is responding to this encroachment by spawning dynamic events and creatures to attack those developing cities. These events occur in 3 different types: the Legion level, the Elite level, and the Epic level. A Legion level event would occur for nodes that exist between the 1st and 4th stages. This might include a horde of zombies rolling across the countryside, finding something or someone to feast on. These zombies would have a clear objective, and the players who wish to keep their advancements would need to be vigilant. Server messages will appear for players within regions of these dynamic events. An Elite level event would occur for nodes that exist between the 3rd and 6th stages. This level of event would include something along the lines of what you are going to see in this video: a dungeon level boss and his gang of cohorts coming out from the dens of their deep, dark delves. With clear objectives, these creatures will look to pillage the lands you have settled, destroy specific centers of activity, and leave destruction in their wake. Finally, the last event level is the Epic one. This level of event occurs randomly in the world, as well as in realms where nodes have advanced to the 5th and 6th stages of development, our city and metropolis stages. This would be a legendary boss, awoken from their long and deep slumber, a mighty dragon perhaps, whose sole purpose is to plunder, to punish those who have summoned his malice and hate. Now for the reveal. We have designed a system that allows the players to participate in these events as the monster. Our monster coins will let the player succumb to the darkness inside their soul and inhabit one of these monsters in the game. With clear objectives outlined during the event, your performance entitles you to unique cosmetics. And while no drop can be taken from your corpse should you fail, the defenders are rewarded by advancing their node and by gaining unique cosmetics themselves. Enjoy this small preview of pre-alpha footage with myself and some of my designers playing with the system. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join us on our Kickstarter.
Get over here. Get into my belly. Those horses are so much bigger, though.
Eat the horses, not the people. Oh god.
Alright, only 4,900 more fireballs. We got them. You are like ants to me.
Must protect the city. Not a mana. And I'm dead.
I'll kill all of you. Last one standing.
I've respawned in the tavern.
I have pretty good armor. Oh, wow. You just exploded me. Yeah.
Hey everyone, my name is Steven Sharif, and I'm the creative director here at Intrepid Studios. Many of you have seen our MMORPG in development, Ashes of Creation. Well, I'd like to take you through part 1 in a series of videos that will explain probably the most contributed to the node, furthering its development. From the first stage of a few wandering merchants to the sixth stage of a sprawling metropolis, nodes redefine the world around them, influencing points of interest in the world, quest lines, story arcs, drop tables and resource pools, even the spawn tables for bosses and NPCs across the world. This cycle of nodes leveling, triggering events, and leveling again is the fundamental cycle of growth throughout Ashes of Creation. The world you see reflected on your server will depend entirely on where players decide to plant their roots, and the events and structures that fill the world will be a direct result of where and when nodes evolve. Even we aren't sure where players will take things, which makes this project exceptionally exciting for all of us. We focused here on the growth of nodes in order to show how the base functionality works, but in upcoming videos we'll delve into the sieging and possible destruction of nodes, how player-run governments of nodes work, and how regions grow. I hope you've enjoyed part 1. And if you'd like to get involved in our development, you can register on our website at ashesofcreation.com or follow us on YouTube and join our community Discord. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, my name is Steven Sharif, and I'm the creative director here at Intrepid Studios. We're working on an upcoming MMORPG named Ashes of Creation, and I'm pretty excited to share with you today on this Kickstarter what we're all about. Ashes of Creation is an open-world, non-faction-based MMORPG set in a high fantasy world. One of the reasons that I started Intrepid Studios to create Ashes of Creation is because I myself am a gamer. I've been a gamer playing MMORPGs since I was 7 years old, and I've really never experienced a community quite like what MMORPGs have to offer. It's a diverse community. There's a lot of people involved. I mean, thousands of players from across the world, and it was just such a passion of mine to be able to experience that involvement in a game like an MMORPG. Over the past several years, having played MMORPGs, I was kind of not impressed with what has been coming out of the genre. A lot of pay-to-win, cash grab style games, and I just felt that there could be something better. And, if you want to get things done right, sometimes you just have to do them yourself. So, in order to accomplish these goals for Ashes of Creation, I really needed to find a team that had a lot of experience with MMORPG production in the past, because as you know, an MMORPG is a massive project. There's a lot of good talent here, and we were able to pull together a pretty amazing team, a team that's worked on Star Wars Galaxies, EverQuest 2, Call of Duty, and a lot of other titles. The reason we're here on Kickstarter is because we want to expand the scope of our project. We want to make it bigger and better. We also want to give an opportunity to you to participate in that community development, to be in on our discussions of design. We feel that Kickstarter and crowdsourcing is a pretty good avenue towards that development. Ashes of Creation is really about 4 primary pillars of our development. It's about our node system, which is an integral part of exactly how the world works and interacts with you as the player.
It's also about our meaningful conflict, PvP, and how you can catalyze change in the environment around you. The economy is our third pillar, which focuses on incentivizing you as the player to get out in the world and interact with it. And last but most important, potentially, is our narrative. The narrative really holds all of those systems together and keeping you as the player interested in exactly what different outcomes come about.
When players first arrive on this world, they're going to find it devoid of civilization. There's wilderness everywhere, and it's up to the players to kind of bring civilization to this world. These nodes are how players do that. There are tons of nodes throughout the world, and each of them has a zone of influence. This zone of influence captures all the activity of the different players doing different things. It could be crafting, it could be fighting, it could be gathering. Anything that might give you experience is something that the node's going to be paying attention to. And as you level up your character, the node levels up with you. And as it levels, more and more civilization gets attracted to that area.
We want the world to react to the player. That's the most important part, is the world is reacting to your actions.
Different nodes attract different events. The world doesn't stay quiet for long, and civilization disturbs deep and dark things throughout it. A city that grows up on the side of a mountain might dig a little bit too deep and might disturb the things that are below. And that might include like a giant dragon that erupts with a volcano and lays down waste to that node that developed there. And that's something that wouldn't happen any other place. That's an event that's unique to that particular node at that particular time. And because of that, like, players are going to experience this game very differently depending on how they build it. Each server is going to have its own story, and we're pretty excited to see what players do with that. How do they react to that dragon coming out that mountain? Do they pack up their bags and move? Or do they decide to fight it, to gather all of their friends and take down this monster because this is their home? So that's what differentiates our game from most others. It reacts to what the players do. It reacts to the player's decision.
While you're developing these points of civilization, there is a mechanic for change, and change relating to that meaningful conflict.
Because players are motivated by different things, because they want something from the game that other players don't want, that's going to cause people to butt heads. Different players are going to want different experiences, and the conflict between the two of them will create a bigger and better thing. Out of strife comes rebirth, and that's a core symbol, it's a core theme that occurs throughout the game.
Our castle system, our sieges against nodes, the caravan system, battlegrounds that exist, guild wars. We want there to be a meaning to this conflict. We want players to actually have some skin in the game when it comes to participating in PvP. If you own a home in a node and you don't want to see that home destroyed, you need to defend that city. Risk versus reward is what gives you that adrenaline. It gives you that meaning to participate. So what drives you as a player in the game? For a lot of people, it's the economy, and that's why it's our third pillar. We really want the economy to incentivize you to interact with other players, to get out there and get resources to develop the world. We've regionalized our marketplaces. We've regionalized our warehouses. It's not just one global auction house like a lot of games kind of throws the economy to the side. I wanted to emphasize economy.
One major feature in our economy that differs from most fantasy-style MMOs is that we're not approaching it from a global scale. Rather, we're trying to carve the world up into regions and make each one focus independently, while of course at the same time working together. The global auction house isn't something that you're going to find in our game at the early stages, or maybe ever. Rather, you're going to have to go to a town, you're going to have to buy, sell, or gather whatever you want. What this creates is a competitive advantage, much like we have in the real world. Some towns, some areas are going to be better at certain things, some are going to be worse at some things. But the important part is that you get to play a role in who's better at what and who's worse at what. And if you want to be better at something, we're giving you the opportunity to become better at whatever you want.
Creating those regional marketplaces, those regional warehouses, we've incentivized the transit of goods. If you want to create local marketplaces or you want to create a local economy, you can do so because that mithril mine is nearby, and it's not found somewhere else. The caravan system is what allows you to transit goods to other marketplaces.
The economy is usually something that happens in the background of other games, and from day one, we knew that the economy was going to be something really important to us.
The fourth pillar in Ashes of Creation is our narrative, the story, and how it relates to you, both as an individual and as a member of the greater community.
In Ashes of Creation, we've got 3 main ways that we're going to be telling the story. One is tasks, one are events, and the final one is our overarching narrative. The narrative is going to be where you find most of the story.
Each server will tell a different story, and this story is going to be told by the players. You're going to experience things differently when it comes to what bosses you've encountered because of how the world develops and how you have developed it.
The node system is going to be what drives what storyline branches players experience. Different NPCs are going to be attracted to different nodes. There's going to be different protagonists and antagonists based on how players build their world. It's all going to relate to the same basic story, but you're going to get different viewpoints on different servers, and you're going to find different bad guys on different servers. It's all going to depend on what players uncover, how they uncover it, and when they uncover it. Different servers are going to be able to talk to each other and figure out kind of, what they missed and fill in the blanks and be able to collaborate and build this bigger meta story that you won't get otherwise in other games. So with all of these 4 main pillars of design, you'll notice that it's really hard for us to talk about any one of them without talking about all of the others. And that's a very core part of our design. It's really important that all of these pieces fit together really well, and that they create an engine that allows people to keep experiencing new things.
So I want to give you an opportunity here on our Kickstarter to get involved in this project, to become a part of its development. We have enough self-funding to create a core viable product in Ashes of Creation, but we really want to expand it. We want to make it bigger and better, and we know we can achieve that with your help.
Everybody here at Intrepid Studios is incredibly excited about this project, and we're really hoping that we've infected you with that kind of excitement too. We want to get this thing done, and we want to include everybody to be a part of it. This is going to be a different game, and this is going to change the genre. So if you're as excited as we are, let's do this thing. Let's make this thing happen, because we can only do it with you.
I've been on the other side of that screen. I've seen companies come to Kickstarter and promise the world, and either under-deliver or just don't deliver at all. But the reality is we're not those people. I brought together a team of industry veterans who've spent over 40 years combined working on MMORPGs and have created some pretty amazing titles. That's what we're going to do here with Ashes of Creation. We're going to create an amazing game, a game that you can be proud of. Hey everyone, this is Stephen Sharif, Creative Director here at Intrepid Studios. Welcome to Part 2 of our Node series. If you haven't already, I'd recommend you take a look at Part 1 in our 4-part video series on nodes. It's a great introduction to the system's overall purpose and design. The Metropolis, the pinnacle of civilization. A symbol of the power and ingenuity of the people, it is wilderness conquered, mastered, and remade in your own image. The Metropolis is effectively the culmination of the node system. It's the biggest thing that players can bring into being and the final level of civilization's development on this forgotten world. The Metropolis requires a large amount of resources to develop and maintain, and because of how nodes relate to one another, there can be no more than 5 in existence at a time. So you might naturally ask, what does it do? To answer that question, we need to know what civilization offers in general.
Every stage of a node's development comes with additional services and benefits, and these services really start to pick up at stage 3, the village stage. One of the foremost services that a node offers is housing, and through that, citizenship. And citizenship is a big deal. There are 3 primary means of acquiring housing. The first is our in-node housing. It's here that players can begin buying static housing. These buildings belong to the node, and as a node levels up, the housing levels up with it. A player will be able to purchase a small one-room house at the village stage. When the node advances up to a town, so does that house. The owner enjoys the benefits of a suddenly larger home. His property size increases, his house is located more towards the center of town, and the square footage of his home has gone up considerably. There's new property available at the town stage, but this new property is more akin to what was available at the previous stage, small and modest. Now when the node advances up further, this time to a metropolis, this all happens again. The player's house, already sizable, grows into a mansion. The number of mansions in a metropolis will be the same number of small homes that were available in this metropolis's village stage. Only those houses that existed at the village level will ever become these main street mansions. So effectively at each stage the node advances, you will see the existing homes advance as well. This makes getting in early for a node pretty important, and introduces a real estate aspect to owning in-node property. I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes, you can sell these properties. These in-node housing options are at a premium, and we expect these to be hotly contested. But if you want to be a citizen, and there are no more in-node housing spots available, you do have some options. For instance, at the town stage and above, your node's politicians will have the option to open up instanced apartments. These are internal-only spaces which can be decorated to your desire. Different price points will offer different sized apartments, and apartment rentals will also offer citizenship. They won't have external spaces to build out, and they aren't quite as prestigious as in-node housing, but they'll still offer some housing functionality to those who really want to be a citizen of a specific node. The final type of housing available are our freeholds. These plots of property can be built anywhere within a node's zone of influence, and only after a node reaches stage 3. These are sizable plots of land that all sorts of structures can be built on. Inns and taverns, forges, smelters, lumber yards, mills, stables, are all things that you might find on a freehold. These plots of land are where a player can really get creative with their buildings. Because they're built within a node's zone of influence, they grant citizenship as well. The larger the node, the bigger the zone of influence is, which means more freeholds can be built. As you may know, nodes have 4 different types: scientific, economic, militaristic, and divine. These types unlock different buildings at each level of a node's progression, contributing progressively larger benefits at each stage of a node's development. At the metropolis stage, these benefits are so wide-reaching that a scientific metropolis will feel very different from an economic metropolis, and a divine metropolis very different from a militaristic one. Not only will these cities feel different, but the regions these giant cities belong to will feel different as well. Different types of metropolises will have specific ultimate bonuses. For example, a scientific metropolis will offer fast travel to nodes within its zone of influence. This is big because there is very little fast travel in the game. A world with even just one scientific metropolis will feel and act much differently than a world without it. Similarly, an economic metropolis brings world-changing functionality to the table. Normally markets are local, and players can buy from and sell to only players who are in the same node. Economic metropolises break that convention, and they have the capability to build a market that integrates with all the nodes in their zone of influence, providing for a far larger market than any other metropolis could hope for. Divine and militaristic nodes also break world convention in one way or another. In other words, everything changes once a node reaches the metropolis stage. Along with those benefits, node type also determines the type of government that a node has. The most traditional government comes from the scientific node, which allows the citizens to come together and choose their leaders. The divine type allocates its leaders through service-oriented quests that directly help others and their node. quests that prove their faith and dedication to the node. Economic-type governments are run by an elite oligarchy. These positions can be bought and sold, so if you want to rule an economic-type node, make sure your coin purse is heavier than your competition. Finally, the militaristic type is ruled by combat. Whoever are the last ones standing have proven their worth to lead by iron fist and sharpened blade. These warriors can only be removed from office by citizens who are better and more bloodthirsty than they. Once a leader is chosen, they have a lot to do. Outside the basic services that a node provides, leaders must choose what other service buildings to construct, which means they should have a clear plan for what they want to accomplish during their tenure. Some buildings might simply provide a zone-wide bonus to their citizens. Others might provide expanded markets. Some may increase a node's ability to defend against a siege. There is only so much space for these kinds of buildings, so the leadership will need to choose well in order to keep their citizens happy. Along that same line, leaders will need to tax their populations to provide these services, to construct these buildings, and to keep node atrophy at bay. Too much and their populations will abandon them. Too little and the node will decay and delevel. Savvy leaders can supplement their node's income with trade routes and trade agreements with other nodes. Be sure to provide some armed escorts for those caravans. Absentee leaders need not apply, as every leader can be replaced in the next election cycle. Citizens and only citizens reap the reward of the metropolis, gaining the benefits that their taxes pay for. Additionally, citizens can gain titles according to their position within society. Most of these are reserved for those who have been with the metropolis longest, but latecomers can earn their way to the top with enough effort and guile. Only citizens can participate in government and the different election processes. If their leaders have built marketplaces, citizens can set up shop there by purchasing time from the city and paying taxes on the goods they've sold. In Ashes of Creation, what is built can be destroyed, and metropolises are no different, but we feel that the effort to destroy something must be equitable with the effort to build something. Because of this, the higher level a node is, the more difficult and challenging the task of initiating a siege becomes. That means that sieging a metropolis will be an act of epic and world-shattering proportions. The success or failure of that siege will be written into the history books and likely impact every person on that server. Should it succeed, the metropolis will be deleveled or even destroyed, erasing the global benefits that it once provided, while at the same time opening up the opportunity for another node to take its place. Maybe one of a different type, maybe one led by a tyrant, or maybe none at all. Should that siege fail, that means that the hopes and dreams of the attackers, who should be legion in number, have been thwarted, and the status quo will endure. As I said in the beginning, metropolises are the pinnacle of civilization. They represent this through their size, through their systems, and through their citizens. Their weight is felt across the world, and once one is established, everything will change. For the better or for the worse? Well, that's up to you. I hope you have enjoyed this overview of the Metropolis. We have so much to share with you about Ashes during our development. Everyone here at Intrepid Studios is so appreciative of the support that you all have shown us, and it means so much to have you with us along the way. Please subscribe to our social media outlets and make sure to register on our website for updates. Our Kickstarter begins May 1st. We look forward to building Ashes of Creation into the MMORPG that we can all be proud of.
You